Hi, if you follow me on YouTube for a while, when I'm recording my videos, hopefully I'll come across as quite positive when I'm talking about different features and benefits on products, but secretly there are some features on modern appliances that do actually frustrate me. So what I've done is I've come up with a quick video to show you which ones they are. First of all, just to say good morning to Dave, Sonia and the team. You know who you guys are. Thanks very much for the follow. Now this list is in no particular order and I'm going to be hopping between different appliances, but this is one of the main bugbears that we find as a retailer, and that's eco washes on washing machines, or wash times. Now manufacturers have been increasing wash times for several years now, and this is an appliance that we actually sell very well, and as you can see here, an eco wash. So it is a very energy efficient wash, will take just under 4 hours. Now for a lot of people, if you have got a spare 4 hours, then that's really good, and it will be a very energy efficient, low cost wash, and the performance of the wash will be very good. But for a lot of people, you haven't got a spare 4 hours. For years and years, customers have been used to short programs where you just put the clothes in, it takes around an hour or so to do a full load, then you take them out and get them dry. But really what manufacturers are doing now is they are making the machines more energy efficient, so they do cost less to run, but for an energy efficient wash like this, then you are looking between 3 and 4 hours. Sticking to washing machines, something else that frustrates me is the water consumption that manufacturers have on some of their programs. Now I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but just having a look at the instructions, which if you follow me on YouTube for a while, you'll know I'm not normally a huge fan of instructions, but for this video I have referred to them. If you have a quick look here, so for the Eco 40-60 with a full load, this is a Siemens washing machine, you look around 77 litres of water. But look at this for a cotton 40 degree, 98 litres of water. Now that's a huge amount of water to be used for one load. Now this is something that's increased over the years. Water consumption used to be a lot lower than this, but what's happened is as energy has improved, so if I just show you an energy label, so a lot of washing machines are going towards the A or B now, so for electricity they have improved. Don't be fooled into thinking, if you're looking at an energy efficient program, say the Eco 40-60, that kind of water consumption is going to be the same on every program. This is something else that frustrates me, is colour mismatches on products. Now some brands have certain products made in different factories, and sometimes the colours are not quite the same. And if you get them in a certain light, if you're putting them next to each other, then that can be really frustrating, especially if we sold a customer, say a fridge, and they come back to buy a matching freezer and it doesn't quite match. So I'm just going to show you some of these colours. Now all of these are apparently white, and I know some of them are different makes, but I'm not sure if you can tell the difference. I know here the lighting we've got LED lighting in the showroom, which is actually really good. But you can tell that some of them, especially between these, some of them are a little bit whiter and some of them a little bit creamier. But if you're trying to match two appliances next to each other, that can be really frustrating. This is something else that frustrates me. It's a poorly labelled programmer on an appliance. Now this is on a Hoover tumble-dryer, and as you can see here, it's not labelled that great, and we get so many customers that come back to us just saying that it's, I suppose when you're actually using it, once you know the programs, it's okay. But you're constantly having to refer to the instructions to see what each program does. While I'm on the subject of displays, not having a display on the appliance does frustrate me, and personally I think that each appliance should have a small display on it to show you how long each program is going to take. Now it's something I do try and point out to customers. Some customers are really not fussed on how long a program will take, but what you don't know is when you're selecting one of these programs, is it a 30-minute wash or is it a 2.5 hour wash? Now you can refer to the instructions, but it's just not quite as intuitive than just having a small display on the front. Whereas on this machine with this display, first of all, it will show you the time that each program will take once you've selected the program. Also, it has a countdown on it, so it will actually count down the time for the duration of the wash, which is always really useful. Something else that frustrates me is when a fridge freezer is not frost-free. Now in this day and age, personally I think all fridge freezers should be frost-free. It just takes the hassle and the worry out of trying to defrost the fridge freezer. We tend to replace quite a few fridge freezers when a customer gets a screwdriver or scraper or something and is trying to defrost their old fridge freezer. When it's not frost-free, damages it, then they need to come and buy a new one, which clearly for a company like ourselves isn't a bad thing. Now, I know some manufacturers go with the concept of low frost, where you only have to defrost the fridge freezer, say every 2 or 3 years, which is okay because energy-wise, they can be really energy efficient. Also, a frost-free unit can take up a bit of extra space within the freezer, so that can be a bit of a downside. But for a lot of people, all they want to do is put the food in, not have to worry about defrosting it every 6 or 12 months. What some manufacturers are doing now is they're putting a drawer in here like this, rather than a nice solid drawer like this. Now, personally, I think it's more of a cost-cutting exercise, but I much prefer having a drawer like this. You can keep everything self-contained rather than having an easy access drawer like this. The next frustration for me is on heat pump tumble dryers. So it's not necessarily this Hotpoint one in particular, it's a lot of heat pump tumble dryers on the market, and it's the ambient temperature that they can operate at. Now, the downside of heat pump tumble dryers, if it's kept in an area that's really cold, say a garage or an outside shed for example, then what will happen is the program duration will take a lot longer than if it's brought inside into a nice warm atmosphere. And for some people, that's a huge issue. Personally, I think manufacturers should really have sorted this out by now to make sure that the program duration should be very similar depending on whether it's outside in a garage or whether it's inside in a nice warm room. Something that can frustrate customers about ovens is when it's really difficult to keep clean. Now, I'm not necessarily saying this oven is difficult to keep clean, I'm just using it as an example. But what you tend to find is a lot easier is when you can remove the glass within the door, which on a lot of appliances you can do, but not on all of them. Because if you can remove the glass from the door, it just makes it so much easier to either give it a wash in hot soapy water or pop it in your dishwasher to give it a nice clean. Also, on the inside here, the ability to remove the side racks is a lot easier. Because when it comes to cleaning on the inside, if you can remove the side rails and also remove the shelves at the same time, then it just makes cleaning the inside of the cavity so much easier. When it comes to vacuum cleaners, I suppose there's quite a few things that can be frustrating. First of all, let's say hello to Indy. It's our little Euronics penguin. But on vacuum cleaners, some of the things that are frustrating are small bin capacities. There's nothing worse than having a small bin, because you could find if you're doing a lot of vacuuming, then you need to empty your bin quite often. Short run times. Manufacturers have improved the run times on a lot of the vacuum cleaners over the years, but still some manufacturers are quite short run times, especially if you're looking at increasing the suction on the vacuum. Some manufacturers of vacuum cleaners, not naming anyone in particular, are reducing the number of tools and accessories that they put within the vacuum cleaners and hoping that you're going to buy them separately afterwards. Not so much on the features and benefits of a product, but something else that gets frustrating is when a manufacturer offers too many models. Now, this is just a snapshot of some of the Ninja range that we offer, and the products themselves are very, very good. I'm not going to knock the quality or anything on the products, but the range that they offer is huge, and there is a new range coming out within the next couple of months. And let's say hello to Indy again. He's just in our wood fire barbecue. Something else that's really frustrating is the installation or operating instructions that a manufacturer puts within their appliance. Now, really, it shouldn't be that difficult to put together a decent book of instructions in our language. I know certain manufacturers are making a product for, say, a worldwide or European market, whichever, and then they're going to produce one book of instructions for all different languages. That's okay, but just make sure that you do a decent job of it. Now, I do find a lot of people come here to watch my videos on how to learn to use a product, which is not an issue, that's great for me. But if the manufacturer did the job properly and just made a decent book of instructions, whether it comes to installing or operating the appliance, then that would be so much better. Now, I just wanted to keep this video quite short on some of the things that frustrate me about modern appliances. I'm sure there are many, many more. And I think if I went around the showroom looking at all the appliances, I could do a video for hours on what I do find frustrating. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe, leave any comments below. I always ask for comments, whether it's good or bad about the video. What I also would appreciate is, what do you find frustrating on one of your household appliances? There must be a feature or something on one of your appliances that you find frustrating, that if you were to purchase another model, then you would try and look out for something where it's not quite as annoying. Anyway, thanks for joining me today.